You might have read recently that New York City became the first gigantic city to have some sort of vaccine mandate, with them requiring workers and customers to show proof of at least one dose of the vaccine for indoor dining and other activities, including things like going to the gym, stuff like that. Well, it was just New York City for a bit, but LA does not want to be outdone. So LA is apparently considering doing it as well. Now, before I give you the details on that, I do want to let you know about the COVID situation here in LA, because it's not good. Let's take a look at a brief overview of the cases throughout the pandemic. We're over there on the right, and yeah, we've gone up to close to 4,000 cases a day. For comparison's sake, like 2 months ago, I think we had 150. So it is many, many times worse. It's still not as bad as the dark winter, but it's about as bad as that first big wave that hit us in the middle of last year. So with that as the context, LA is now considering a proposal to require proof of COVID-19 inoculation as a condition of entry at a host of indoor public spaces in what, if passed, would be the widest ranging vaccination verification effort in the city yet. So what does that mean? What's a public place? Well, that includes things like restaurants, bars, retail stores, gyms, spas, movie theaters, stadiums, and concert venues. I mean, I notably do not leave my house much in the best of times, but that feels like the only reasons I ever would. So it seems like a lot of places. So Rayyvana, we had New York, now maybe LA. It's not done yet, but what do you think about this as a strategy?
I'll be honest, I just assumed this is how it was gonna be initially. When I got my vaccine, when I got my second dose, I put my vaccine card in my wallet and kept it there because I was assuming I'd have to show it if I was going to the gym without a mask, or which I still don't, or if I was going to a restaurant, or I had to fly out to California earlier in the summer, and I figured most certainly I'd have to show it there. But it just wasn't like that. It just seems like the most intuitive way to do it, though, because otherwise you don't know who's vaccinated and who's not. You don't know if you're at a restaurant and the person at the table next to you maybe didn't get the vaccine, but because it's not like you can just look at someone and tell if they've got vaccinated. I mean, you can always try to stick a magnet to them because you get magnetized, or see if your 5G gets better the closer you get to them.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's just sort of encouraging people who haven't been vaccinated to go around maskless in public, just because there's no way to prove it without having these mandates.
Yeah, you're totally right. Like here in LA, you would imagine there had been something like that, but no. Just for the longest time, there'd be signs saying, if you're not vaccinated, we are going to still need you to wear a mask, that's a choice. It's like setting up an honor system in Mos Eisley or something. It's like, but you get the whole thing is that people aren't trustworthy on this. So why are we having this game? But anyway, this is, if it were to happen, this would basically mean you need to get vaccinated for pretty much anything. I'm sure you can come up with a bunch of stuff. Like this doesn't include schools, I suppose. I'm trying to think of other parks, I guess. I don't know, but for most things that you would want to go out, it probably does involved. Now, I want to give you a quote from the LA City Council President Martinez talking about this, why he thinks it's important. Says, enough is enough already. Hospital workers are exhausted. Moms who have put aside their careers are tired, and our kids cannot afford the loss of another school year. We have 3 vaccines that work and are readily available. So what's it going to take? Our kids are about to return to school, and the unvaccinated are putting their lives at risk every day. Ask your questions, talk to your doctor, and get the vaccine. Let's put this behind us. So I have not been watching Fox today. I'm assuming they're probably freaking out about this. They were already freaking out about New York. So I guess I suppose I want something like a prediction, Rayyvana. Do you think Chicago is going to go this way? Are we going to see this begin to spread? Obviously, Biden said they're not going to do this nationally, but do you think this will become more common for cities?
Honestly, I think that I could see Lori Lightfoot doing it just to annoy me personally, because she allowed Lollapalooza to happen a week ago, and now you would have to wear a mask to go into a restaurant because that's just the kind of mayor she is. But I do think that it would be possible here. We have a pretty good vaccination rate in this city, thankfully. But I would still like to see that, because it would make me feel safer. It would end it would shorten the length of the virus eventually, because if people want to go out, people want to live their lives. So if you have to prove that you're vaccinated to go get $1 margs at Chili's, there's going to be people who are motivated by that. They're going to do it.
I did not even know that kind of deal was available. Probably not in LA, but I'm gonna have to go take a look.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.